Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I know many of the folks that are present today. My name is Ed Drew. I'm the project sponsor on behalf of United Illuminating. And again, I'd like to thank you all for being here today, taking time out of your schedule. A couple of opening comments I'd like to make. Looking back, construction, as many of you know, of UI's office building and operations complex began back in August of 2010 when we had the groundbreaking ceremony. And quite frankly, it's hard to believe that it's been almost just less than 2 years, and here we are today celebrating the opening of these facilities. So as you can see, we've come a very long way. And again, that's not without the efforts of the project team. And I'd like to take a moment just to mention that project team and thank them. The team included UI employees, Whiting Turner Construction Company that did a phenomenal job on the construction, SLAM Collaborative out of Glastonbury, the architects of record for this project, as well as the officials from the town of Orange. The town of Orange has been very supportive of UI throughout the past several years. We appreciate their efforts, and because of those efforts on behalf of the town, we are here today. The support by Mr. Jim Zeoli, first Selectman, the Board of Selectmen that are present here today has been much appreciated. I'd like to virtually thank the entire team for helping to create this beautiful complex. I'd also like to take a moment to thank the Foyer family. The property you're on today is the Foyer property. We do lease it from the family, and again, their working with UI company has been very helpful. And last but not least, I'd like to thank Mr. Jim Torgerson, Mr. Tony Valillo. These two gentlemen have provided me and the team unwavering support for this project throughout the life cycle of the entire project, and the vote of confidence they've given us every step of the way. And for that, I'm very much appreciative. In terms of getting the job done, UI has made a commitment to the many communities and stakeholders that we serve. As an example, 89% of all work completed on these two facilities were performed by Connecticut-based companies. These are metrics that we're very proud of. Many of these companies are located within a very near vicinity of this project. Also, our outstanding safety record. From day one, safety has been a top priority. It continues to be a top priority. And the safety record here for the property exceeds all OSHA metrics for this type of construction. We're very proud of this accomplishment, and also safety has been and will continue to be our top priority. From a sustainability perspective, on point number 3, these new facilities utilize advanced construction technologies in order to meet green building sustainability standards, with our objective being the achievement of LEED Gold standard. This certification recognizes efficient use of energy with minimal environmental impact. And just a quick couple of examples include the utilization of polarized window glazing that facilitates the introduction of natural light into the facility and the retention of heat and cooling during the summer. Our site preparation and construction utilized recycled construction materials from the day one when we raised the cinema site. And thirdly, the utilization of energy efficient heating and cooling systems through the installation of raised floor technology that will also result in lower costs for maintenance going forward into the future. In summary, we focused on ensuring a quality building, a quality construction program, while not losing sight of our commitment to the communities that we serve as well as our stakeholders. And again, that is by utilizing Connecticut-based talent, getting the job done safely and in a sustainable manner. At this time, it gives me pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Jim Zeoli, first Selectman for the town of Orange, who will make a few comments. Mr. Zeoli.
Good morning, everybody. What a proud day for all of those people. Ed saved me a lot of work. I'm not known for making only a few comments, but he really thanked a tremendous amount of people that made this project possible. And I'm just very proud, really, for United Illuminating and the town of Orange. But, you know, there had been much discussion 10 years ago, I guess, UI considering leaving New Haven, consolidating operations from their other sites around their region. And they had looked at Orange. Things didn't quite fit. Things weren't working out here. They were looking elsewhere. But in the meantime, I had made some new friendships with Mr. Ed Drew and Mr. John Sinanis. Had been in to see me, and people I had never met before. And that's actually one of the excitements of this job that I currently hold. You meet a lot of people that you've never known before, and you get some great exposure and connections to people and make some great friendships that you probably wouldn't have had the opportunity to do. So they expressed to me how they really would like the Orange area, but there just wasn't anything suitable, and they had tried to find a couple sites that didn't work out. And the morning that I got the call that, and I apologize, some of you have heard this story before, the National Amusement site was closing, the theater over by 95 there was closing. I hung up the phone with the representatives from National Amusements, immediately went through, if you ever see my desk, you'd understand there's stacks of phone messages. People say, why don't you ever throw those out? I said, you never know when you may need to find somebody, and there's always a note on them. If you put it in your Rolodex or in your file, you never have the notes that go with the name. And so I went right through it quick and found Ed Drew's phone number, called him up. We're on it, Mr. Zeoli, was his response. Well, in the time it took for me to make that call, somebody had kind of stepped in between them. But every few weeks I would call them and nudge them, and how we making out? We're working, Mr. Zeoli, we're on it. Okay. Well, lo and behold, it came to be. The United Illuminating purchased that site, and originally in our discussions they needed 30 or so acres. Well, that site's 34 acres, but when you get down to the usable acreage, with all the restrictions, guidelines, setbacks, and everything else, it wasn't quite big enough. They said, well, it's not quite big enough. We have to maybe look elsewhere. We need a site that we can fit our corporate headquarters and our operations on. I said, well, I don't have anything bigger, because they couldn't get any responses from the property owners across the street. But I said, well, I have another possibility. And I said, there's another piece of land on the other side of the Outback Steakhouse. I said, if you would like, we can take a look at it, look at the mapping of it, and if it's big enough for something that you could use for your corporate headquarters, I said, I'll talk to the family. So, of course, then Paul Grimmer, I had to get him involved, my economic development director, who can recite to you just about any location, acreage, square footage, who owns it, who represents it, or anything else that goes with that. And so UI came, and they looked at this 20-plus acres that you're standing and sitting on right now, and they said, we think that could work. Well, I knew the family, the Boyer families owned it for 100 years or more, I guess. And I went to them and said, look, we have an opportunity. You know, your father always said, something good for you, good for the town. They said, we'll talk about it, we'll let you know. They talked about it, they let me know. We would be willing to do something, but we don't want to sell, we want to lease. UI came back to me, we don't want to lease, we only want to buy. I think that took probably most of a year, I think, to work that out. UI had a representative who, from I think Philadelphia, who was very much doing UI's best. And the Foyer family hired a couple people that I knew to do the best for them. After the large part of a year, the deal was struck. Not without a lot of trials, tribulation, and heartache. You have a piece of land. If you're a person of the land, you would understand. You have a piece of land that you've looked at all your life. It's very hard to give that up. They made that decision, and they're here today. And this beautiful building is here today. So I really have to thank the Foyer family for seeing the future as well. And I really appreciate that. I think we only have 3 generations of them with us today. I thought maybe the 4th generation would be here too, but I guess they had to go to school today. but they have no idea how hard they should study, because they can do anything they want to do down the road, those kids. So with all this said, you now drive in, you get off of exit 41, and you see one of the most beautiful operation center buildings that you're going to see anywhere in the region, maybe in the whole Northeast, sitting right at the exit of Interstate 95. It doesn't get any better, that location, than that right there. And then when you take that turn and you come down Marsh Hill Road, and you see this building behind me here, Class A, the best, most beautiful quality office building that I could have ever imagined. And the way they built it, that it set right into this hillside of this property, was just done so beautifully, and is just such an asset to the town of Orange and to United Illuminating. All I can say is thank you, and to all of UI and all of your employees, Mr. Valillo, Mr. Torgerson, I hope you enjoy coming to Orange. I know you'll be in New Haven some of the time, but I hope you find most of your time in Orange. Welcome to Orange, and thank you for choosing Orange for your main location. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, with us today is State Representative Mr. Paul Davis. It's a privilege to have him here, and we're honored to have him here. Mr. Davis, I know you'd like to say a few words. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. On behalf of our local legislators, I'd like to welcome UI to Orange. Unfortunately, I wasn't here on the day of the groundbreaking, so it's a real pleasure for me to be here for the ribbon cutting, if we get it done quickly. I didn't get home till about 1 a.m. last night, so we decided actually to end early. We were thinking about going all night, but kind of worked out a little legislative deal to get some of the work done today.
A deal?
A deal. We do deals. In any case, I live about 2 minutes from this location, and driving up to Hartford on many days, of course, this is the way I go, and I've been watching the construction as it's proceeded, and been tremendously impressed by the quality of the work that's being done, the beauty of the building, and certainly the energy efficiency. It says a lot for us that we have a utility that's focused on our environment and energy efficiency. It's a great tribute to UI. It's a great tribute to what we believe in here in Connecticut, and as a member of the Environment Committee, we discuss this all the time. So I thank you very much for choosing Orange. I thank you very much for choosing my district. And I thank you very much for the work that's been done in keeping with what we believe in Connecticut, and that is a bright future. Thank you.
Okay, I'd like to call forward Mr. Tony Valillo, President and Chief Operating Officer of United Illuminating. Tony, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ed. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being with us this morning on this great event for our company, for our customers, and for the region. You know, Ed mentioned that the construction began here in about August of 2010, but as you might imagine, the journey has been a lot longer than that. It's been at least 8 years, to my memory, since UI identified the need to develop a strategic real estate and facilities plan. We had certain facilities that were aging, that were going to need a lot of work, that were not meeting the changing times of our business, that we felt we needed to take more direct ownership of. We had leased facilities. So we started to develop a plan and said, you know, we really would like to consolidate our facilities to a central location. And I would tell you, this area was the initial place where we said that's where we want to be. It's bullseye, dead center of our service territory for UI Company. And we looked at a lot of other situations, a lot of the properties, and as Mr. Zeoli said, you know, things started to fall in place, and we ended up being able to achieve our first part of that vision. Now, the stated objectives to this project was, again, as I said, to consolidate existing multiple facilities into a new centrally located complex that would accomplish several things. First and foremost, for us anyway, was to provide what I like to refer to as a productive work environment for our employees. And what I'm very proud of here is we've built a very functional building. This building is an office building, administrative and so on, very, you know, visually it's very attractive, but it's also very functional. The building on the other side, our operations center, is a very unique building where we have some very critical facilities in there. It's a very different type of construction, but again, very functional, and it's meeting our needs for the long term. We certainly want to improve operating efficiency. We believe that being at this site with all of our people here will do that. We wanted to provide enhanced customer service, and again, we feel very confident that we will achieve that. We want to reduce overall costs because ultimately our customers have to bear much of those costs, and we have come up with a very solid business case for our customers that take existing costs, shed those costs for the existing facilities and locations we have, come here to a new facility that has lower carrying costs and operating costs than those combined facilities. So the value proposition for our customers was very compelling. You know, we began permitting at these sites back in 2008, and as mentioned, construction began in 2010. This particular building here, the office building, is 127,000 square feet, and as mentioned, it's for pretty much administrative and professional and support staff. The operations center is 249,000 square feet, and that's where we have our technical people, field people, our line trucks, our operations center, and so on. And the first of approximately 1,100 UI employees who will be working at these locations have actually started to move in. And we have almost, I want to guess, maybe close to 200 people in this office building here as we speak. And we're going to be phasing that in over the next month or so, but so far everything's going very, very smoothly. So for me, I'm extremely proud to be part of this effort. I'm very appreciative of the exceptional work by everyone involved, especially Ed Drew and his team, their project management team. And as mentioned, Ed was really instrumental in securing these two sites for us. And that was not an easy thing to do. And I would tell you that, you know, he and Mr. Zeoli have bonded here. You know, they really have. And it's a pleasure to work with people such as the people we worked with in Orange. And Mr. Zeoli, for now I'm going to call you Jim after today. But you know, it's just been great. We've had some meetings. You've always looked out for not only the interests of Orange, but the interests of UI Company in a way where the collaboration works and it's not sided one way or the other. And I know that our future relationship is going to be just a terrific experience. So thank you. You know, it's really important that, you know, bringing a concept that we had a number of years ago into such a magnificent reality is really the crowning jewel here. We've been involved. It's been tough. It's been a struggle, but we're here, and we're just extremely proud, and we've accomplished our goals. So again, thanks to everyone involved in this effort. With that, I'm going to turn it over to UIL's President and CEO, Jim Torgerson, who, as Ed mentioned, you know, has provided vital support and guidance throughout this, and again has never wavered. When we had issues, we bring them to Jim, we discuss them, we come up with collaborative and creative solutions. But Jim has understood the vision from the day he came over to take over the controls at UIL, and has been a great supporter and has been critical to the success of this project. So Jim, thank you.
Well, thanks, Tony, and I want to extend my welcome to everybody here. You know, all the people from UIL, the contractors, Mr. Zeoli and Paul Davis and all the others who took the opportunity, you know, those from the Selectman Selectman from the town. But we're happy you're all here, and you know, it was really a collaborative effort that got this done between the contractors and all the people that even at UIL, it wasn't just people from United Illuminating who did the work on this building. We had people from our corporate headquarters of UIL who participated greatly in getting this done, and we want to thank all of them for the work that they did. And when you look at this, as Tony mentioned, you know, this was the central area that we wanted to target. And being in Orange just makes all the sense in the world. We're right on the freeway, allows our line trucks to get to where they need to go very quickly and expediently. So that it was just right in the center of our 17-town service territory. And you also think about it, we also have UIL's other companies, Southern Connecticut Natural Gas, just across the freeway now. So it'll allow for better collaboration of the UIL companies overall, which is very helpful. So we think this is a great opportunity. You see the buildings that have gone up. This one's now being occupied, and we're really happy to be here in Orange. We have companies now all across the state and even into Massachusetts. So UIL has grown quite a bit, but this is UI has been around since 1899. So it's been a company that's been here a long time. Now the gas company's actually been here even longer when you think about it. So which is kind of interesting, but. We're happy to be here. I do really want to thank everybody who put so much effort into this and got it done on time within the budgets we set out, and which is really an accomplishment in today's environment to be able to get things done in a timely manner and done well. And Ed, I want to thank you and your team who just did a phenomenal job. And Tony was the one who had the vision, I think, all along. And I want to thank Tony for making sure he saw it through. And when the things got tough, we found ways to get through the different issues that came about, and very much a collaborative effort. So again, thank you everybody for being here, and we're really looking forward to occupying this building and being in Orange. So thanks again, and I'll turn it back to Ed.
Jim, thank you very much. I'd like to thank all the speakers for those kind words. Now is the time for the official ribbon cutting. What I'd like to do is have everyone come forward. We're going to go to the main entrance of the facility for the ribbon cutting ceremony. We'd like to have everyone up close. So we'd like to get that accomplished. Thank you very much.
I think everybody's in a set.
Whenever you want, please.
We walked away. Big shot. You walked out.
What's the matter? You afraid of sparks?
Yes, that was my biggest concern, the weather. Because yesterday definitely was in traffic, but we were setting up with him.